Hey there friends, it's Abby here again. I did this practice that I'm about to show you on Friday, which I didn't know at the time, but it was the spring equinox. I was completely unaware as I was practicing, but I ended up doing some fun standing balance poses and a lot of heart openers as well, so just some happy accidents there. The practice is about an hour long, and again I'm going to do the voiceover for you, so if you'd like to join in, you're more than welcome. Thanks for watching.
So I actually start the majority of my practices in child's pose. Feet together, knees spread wide apart, upper body relaxing down, arms really reaching forward without straining. I use this as a time to come into my breath and kind of settle myself before I start moving. Most of my day is spent running around, and it's nice to just stop and take a break. And child's pose helps me really focus for the rest of my practice. Use this as a time to turn on your breath, so inhaling deeply through the nose and out through the nose. On an inhale, come to your hands and knees. And a few rounds of cat-cow. With a big inhale, tilt your tailbone up towards the sky, open your chest, lift your head, and exhale, round your spine, take your chin to your chest. Do this as many times as you need to feel really connected to your breath. It's very easy to see in these poses how the breath leads the movement. As you inhale, you want to open your chest and lift your head up, and as you exhale, you want to kind of round in and squeeze everything in. On an inhale, come to a neutral spine, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Continuing to let the breath lead the movements. Do whatever you need to do in your first down dog to get loosened up, pedaling your feet back and forth, bending your knees. Making sure to keep your lower abdomen very locked, very tight. Uddiyana Bandha is what we call that. On an inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hips, pushing that heel towards the left. On a big inhale, lift that leg, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Bend the knee and open the hips as you exhale. Keeping that foot flexed and really pushing through the heel. Take a deep breath in, straighten that leg, and then back to downward facing dog. You can hear the breath a lot better in this video than you could in the last, so I'm not going to call inhales and exhales. I'm just going to let you listen along and call the poses. Step or jump to the front of your mat, halfway lift, and come into ragdoll. Bend your knees here as much as you need to really let your upper body relax. These first few poses are just meant to kind of get us ready for what we're about to do. Connecting our movement with our breath, feeling the balance between effort and ease. This is a great pose to really feel that. Your legs are strong, but your upper body is light and relaxed. And there's a little bit of both of that in every single pose. With an inhale, come to a halfway lift. Take your hands to your hips, and then come all the way up with a straight spine. With a big inhale, lift your arms up, reach up, sending lots of energy through your fingertips, but keeping your shoulder blades pressing together and coming down. So your shoulders aren't in your ears here, but we are reaching up as far as you can, really stretching out. Exhale and fold forward. Halfway lift. And then step back to high plank. Shoulders over your elbows, elbows over your wrists. You start to see a straight line from the heels of your feet all the way through the crown of your head. If this pose is still just a little too challenging, you can come down onto your knees here. With a big inhale, fill up, and exhale, come forward and down to low plank. Upward facing dog, and breathe here. Really trying to pull your heart and your chest through your shoulders, allowing your butt to relax, but keeping your legs, your thighs engaged. With a big exhale, push back into downward facing dog. And as you can hear, there are several dogs at my house, so you will probably be hearing lots from them throughout these videos. Step or jump to the front of your mat, halfway lift, and then bow forward. Inhale, reach all the way up, and with your exhale, fold forward all the way back down. Halfway lift. Step back high to low plank, coming forward and down on your chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Remembering to keep your lower abdomen locked in every single one of these poses. Step or jump to the front of your mat, halfway lift, and bow forward. Reach all the way up, reaching up and back if you can at all, and then bow forward. Halfway lift, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, down dog with a big exhale. Now we're going to do 3 sun bees. With a slight variation. I learned a new pose in one of my yoga classes this week, and I thought it'd be fun to throw it in, incorporate it into my personal practice. So just stick with me, and you'll figure it out pretty quick. Step or jump to the front of your mat, halfway lift, and then bow forward. Bend your knees and reach up into Utkatasana. And breathe here. With each exhale, sitting back into your chair a little bit deeper. Now from this pose, we're going to flow into diver's pose. So So you're going to straighten your legs, come up onto your tippy toes, and extend your upper body as far forward as you can on an inhale, and then exhale, folding all the way back down. Halfway lift. Jump back, low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale and come up. And breathe here. Get settled into your first couple warriors. I like to take time to kind of give myself a body memory to come back to as we flow through this pose. I can really focus on squaring my hips to the front of the mat. Get an idea of where my feet are in space and where the energy is pushing down through them. With a big exhale, come all the way down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, down dog. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale and come up. Same thing here. Just take a few breaths to find your feet, where your legs are. Squaring your hips forward, keeping your lower abdomen engaged, Uddiyana Bandha. Letting your upper body be light. Shoulder blades are still coming together on your back. Now with a big exhale, all the way back down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Now we're going to go through that whole sequence, one movement, one breath, again, coming into diver's pose after Utkatasana. It's a little challenging at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. Take a big exhale, empty out, and then step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Bow forward. Bend your knees, reach up. Come into diver's pose. Big inhale. And then fold forward. Halfway lift. Jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale and lift up. Exhale all the way back down, high to low plank. Long exhale here. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Inhale and come up. Exhale all the way back down. Long exhale here. Upward facing dog, back to down dog. I'm going to exhale, empty out, and then step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, and bow forward. Bend your knees, reach up. Diver's pose. Big inhale, and then fold forward. Halfway lift. Jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, lift up, all the way back down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, inhale, reach up, all the way back down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Continue to breathe here as I move my mat back. It tends to slip on this floor. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward to warrior one. Inhale and come up. Warrior 2, exhale. Take a few breaths here. Just take a few seconds here to reconnect to your breath. The big inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale. Breathe in. And then exhale to side angle. You can take your forearm to thigh here, or fingertips all the way to the floor. Whatever feels right. You start to open up your hips. Then take a big inhale and reach up, and then exhale and come into a bind. So if you can't take a full bind without a towel, grab a towel and we're going to have some fun with this. Step your back foot forward, keeping your bind, and shift the weight into that left foot. And when you feel sturdy, come up into bird of paradise. Trying to straighten that leg as much as possible. Staying with the breath, even though this is a challenging pose. Bring your right foot back down. Shift the weight back into your right foot. And when you feel steady, keeping the bind, send your left leg back for bound half moon. And release your bind or fall forward. And when you feel steady, open your arms. Stacking those hips and sending lots of energy through your upper leg. And fold forward. Halfway lift. And then chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Breathe here. Lift your left leg up on a big inhale. Step it forward to warrior 1. Inhale and come up. Warrior 2 on an exhale. Again, just breathing here. Making yourself comfortable in this pose. Big inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale. One more big breath in. And then side angle. Finding that line of energy from your back foot through the crown of your head. Dropping your hips a little if you need to. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more big breath in. Come into a bind. Remember to keep your shoulders and your heart opening towards the ceiling. So if you have to roll your chest down to come into this bind, take a towel or whatever you need to kind of loosen that up. On an exhale, step your back foot forward. Take as many hops as you need. And shift the weight into your right foot, and then when you're ready, come up into bird of paradise. When you feel steady, straighten your leg. And then come down, keeping the bind. When you feel strong in that left foot, send your right foot back. Don't just throw it up there, really push your foot back with intention. If you wobble and fall out, that's a-okay. And when you feel sturdy, open up your arms for half moon. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward again. Halfway lift. And chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. And breathe here. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Send your right knee to your right elbow. Right leg up. Right knee, left elbow. Right leg up. Right knee to the center of your chest. Squeeze it in. Big breath in. Exhale, step it forward, crescent lunge. Inhale and come up. Take a really big breath in. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take another deep breath in, and then twist. With each inhale, lengthen your spine. Stretching the crown of your head away from your hips. And with each exhale, twist just a little bit more. You can open your arms if you'd like. Staying with that breath. Exhale, high to low plank, upward facing dog, and then down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, up. Left knee, right elbow. Inhale, up. Left knee to the center of your chest. Squeeze it in. Exhale, step it forward. And come into crescent lunge. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart center. Another deep breath in, and then twist. Really try and make your hips level here. You can see my left hip is actually dropping down just a little bit. You can fix that by straightening your leg. Straightening that left leg a little bit more. Open your arms whenever you're ready. Take a deep breath in and then high to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And just breathe here. Take a deep breath in, empty all the way out. And then step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, bow forward. Halfway lift. Now I'm going to adjust my mat again, and we're going to come into crow pose. So bow forward again if you'd like. Come to a halfway lift. Plant your hands. Stick your knees as far up as you can into your armpits if possible. Come onto your tippy toes. And then start to balance forward. Big inhale and jump back to chaturanga. I don't always make it. Big inhale, up dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in. Empty out. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Bow forward. Halfway lift. And come into crow again. Don't think about it, just go ahead and crawl on up. This pose is definitely a head pose for me. Takes me a little bit of time to get into it. Take a deep breath in and shoot back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, down dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Take one more really big inhale. Exhale. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Then you can take another crow here if you'd like, and if not, come into goddess pose. It's a great lower back release. And just a nice centering, grounding pose. And come out, halfway lift, fold forward. Halfway lift again. Jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And breathe here. Inhale, lift your right leg up, step it forward. Warrior 1, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Take a deep breath in, straighten your front leg. Then we're going to come into triangle. We want to stack our hips here as much as possible, keeping our hips open to the side of the mat. Letting our shoulders stack on each other. And then high to low plank on the exhale. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Lift your left leg up. Step it forward, warrior 1. Inhale and come up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Come forward as much as you can before you come down into triangle. Deep breath in And high to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog, down dog. Breathe in, lift your right leg up, exhale, step it forward, warrior 1, warrior 2, reverse warrior, and then spring forward into half moon. We've already been here once today, we won't stay long. Take a deep breath in and then come into standing splits. Lower your upper body and really send your left leg up. Take a deep breath in, halfway lift, and then exhale, twisted half moon. Lots of energy through your back leg. Fold forward. Halfway lift. And chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Step it forward, warrior 1. Inhale and come up. Warrior 2, exhale. Inhale, reverse. And then half moon. Just coming forward. Big breath in, fold forward, lifting that upper leg, standing splits. Halfway lift on a big inhale, and then exhale, twisted half moon. Leaving that right leg up, lots of energy, straighten as much as you can. And fold forward on an exhale. Halfway lift. And fold again. Halfway lift, big inhale all the way up. Reach your arms all the way up into the sky. And then come into tree pose. Right leg up. Use this as a relaxing pose. You're doing a lot of work to keep that foot into the thigh and to stay balanced, but there should be a real sense of ease here. A sense of calmness, even. Interlace your fingers and reach up with a big inhale. Bring your hands back to your heart center. And then take your right foot with your right hand, and we're going to come into dancer's pose directly from tree. This is an awesome standing balance pose, but it's also a great heart opener. So as you push that right foot into your right hand, you're going to send that leg up into the air and your chest forward and out. Trying to keep your hips squared to the ground and your shoulders squared forward. And then come back into tree. All one motion. Take another deep breath in and then step out. Take a deep breath in and reach up and fold forward. Come come all the way back up. Big inhale. And then tree pose with your left leg up. Use your gaze to help steady you here. Find a point on the wall or in the distance. It's not going to move. And just stay focused on that point with a soft gaze. Take a big inhale, interlace your fingers and reach up. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Then take that left foot with your left hand, and without coming down, push into dancer's pose. Sending that left leg back, letting it open up your chest and your hips. Using your gaze to help steady you. And come back into tree without stepping down. Take a deep breath in and then step out. Inhale, reach up, and then fold forward as you exhale. Halfway lift, and chaturanga. Upward facing dog, down dog. Take a deep breath in, empty out, and then make your way onto your butt. All the way onto your back. We'll do some heart openers here. There are lots of dogs in my house. I'm sure you've heard. It's Bandit hopping around in the background. Get your feet hip-width distance apart, and then lift your hips up, pressing up, and come into bridge pose. Roll onto the outsides of your shoulders, really pressing your chest towards your chin. And just come down on an exhale. We're going to do 2 more, bridge or wheel, whatever you feel like at the moment. I do 2 wheels here. So plant your hands, get ready, and then with control and intention, push up. And exhale and slowly come down. One more, bridge or wheel. Plant your hands. Get your feet set and lift up on an inhale. I've been working on this modification for a little while now, coming down onto my forearms. I find it a lot easier in this position to really push my chest open a little bit more. And then slowly come down on an exhale. Take a couple breaths to check in and squeeze your knees into your chest. Rock side to side, back and forth. Massage your spine a little bit. Then roll up and back a few times. And come into boat pose. I'm going to do what I call the rolly boats. This is definitely my favorite core work. Big inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Big breath in. Cross your ankles, roll forward and hover. Back into boat. Big breath in. Exhale, cross your ankles, roll forward, hover. Back into boat. Big breath in. Out. Breathe in. Cross your ankles, roll forward and hover. Back into boat. Deep breath in. Cross your ankles, roll forward, hover. Back into boat. Big breath in. Cross your ankles, roll forward, hover. And then all the way back onto your back. Squeeze your knees in. Big hug. I'll roll forward and back a few times and then meet us in down dog, whichever way you want to get there. From down dog, take a few breaths and then big inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward to low lunge. Keeping that back knee off the ground, still being able to get into that front hip flexor. Plant your left hand, reach your right arm up for a gentle twist. Take your right hand back down. And lower that back knee. If you want, you can come on to your forearms here, or stay with your hands. Whatever is going to allow you to get a really good stretch in your hips right here. It's hard to see from this angle, but I'm actually pressing my right thigh into my shoulder to kind of make this pose a little bit more active. Come on back up to your hands and step back into three-legged dog, opening those hips, and back to downward facing dog. Left leg up, step it forward, low lunge. Planting that right arm, lifting the left for a gentle twist. Take that left arm back down. Lower your right knee. Point the toe. And come onto your forearms here if you'd like. Just really allowing that hip to open. Tuck the toe back under, plant your hands, and come back to down dog. You take three-legged dog and open the hips here if you did that on the other side. Back to downward facing dog. Right leg up, and step it forward to half pigeon. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big, big inhale. And then fold forward from there. For some of us, this pose has become very familiar. And therefore isn't quite as dynamic anymore. So take the time here to find a way to make this pose new, to feel something different in it. Come up with a big inhale. And then take your left leg with your left hand, left arm. Really open up that quad, that left hip flexor. I like to bring my right arm around for mermaid or king, and I try for king pigeon here. Can't quite get it. You take whatever modification you like here. Just opening up our hips and our hearts here. And slowly release that left leg out. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. And then push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and step it forward to half pigeon. Take a really big inhale when you're set and then fold forward from there. This side might not feel like the right side, and that's okay. We just need to notice, maybe make an adjustment or two. Now plant your hands and lift up with a big inhale. Take that right leg with your right hand, getting into that quad and right hip flexor. Whatever modification of this you want to take. And slowly releasing that leg out, planting your hands underneath your shoulders, and pushing back to downward facing dog. Come to your hands and knees, cross your ankles, and roll over onto your butt. Go ahead and lay all the way back. We're going to come into shoulder stand here. So place your hands at your lower back to support your back and lift your legs up straight into the air, active all the way through your toes. Taking deep, full breaths. It's important in this pose to make sure that the weight is really in your shoulders and not in your neck or your head. So whatever adjustments you need to do to make sure that weight's in your shoulders and even in your upper arms instead of in your neck, do that. If you'd like, you can stay where you are or bring your feet into touch to Supta Baddha Konasana legs. Feet together, knees apart. Lift back into shoulder stand and then very slowly come down. Now we'll get set up for fish pose. Place your hands underneath your butt. Really and lean back and push your chest up, letting your head and neck relax. If you'd like, you can lift your legs for a little bit more core work. And then just release out on an exhale. Squeeze your legs in. Give yourself a great big hug. Straighten your left leg down the mat. Really squeeze that right leg in and then twist to the left. This last set of poses is just designed to help you relax, so don't force this twist. Just be in it and let your body go where it wants to go. Bring that right knee back to center, squeeze it in, squeeze your left leg in, straighten your right leg down the mat, and then twist towards the right. Again, just surrendering to the twist. Bring that knee back to center. Squeeze both legs in. Curl up into a tiny ball. And then on an exhale, release into Shavasana. Get comfortable here, and then just relax. Letting all the good things of this practice just soak in and assimilate. Let your breath become normal and relaxed. And just notice what it feels like to be in this room, on your mat, breathing right here and right now. Give yourself the gift of this time of rest. Now really fill up a really big breath of air. Then let it go. Roll to your right side and curl up into the fetal position. Continuing in this state of deep rest. And with these last few breaths, just develop a sense of gratitude for this practice, for your body, for the amazing things we have in this world. Just feel in your body the sense of gratitude. And lift up into a seat, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in and say namaste.